He wasn't kidding when he said the lights are bright up here. Good evening. Welcome to Mascoma Valley Regional High School's National Honor Society Induction Ceremony. We are excited you could join us on this very special evening to recognize this group of students for scholarship, leadership, service, and character. At this time, I would like to introduce Kaylee Felix, the National Honor Society President.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance if you are able. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. Welcome everyone to Mascoma's National Honor Society Induction Ceremony. This night showcases our school's finest students who represent the best in their commitment to scholarship, service, leadership, and character. Before we begin the induction of our new members, let me introduce tonight's guest speaker, Ms. Sydney Thompson. Ms. Thompson graduated from Mascoma High School in 2018. She was inducted into the Mascoma chapter of the National Honor Society in 2016 in one of the very first public events to occur in our beautiful auditorium. She was an active member of our school community, participating in student council, volleyball, and basketball, to name just a few of her co-curricular activities. Since leaving Mascoma, Ms. Thompson has been very busy. She attended the University of New England and graduated magna cum laude this past May with a Bachelor of Science in Medical Biology and minors in Education, in Health, Medicine, and in Society. Ms. Thompson begins her Master of Physician Assistant studies at Franklin Pierce University next month. Please welcome Sydney Thompson back to the Mascoma stage.
As members of the National Honor Society, you are guided by the 4 pillars: character, scholarship, leadership, and service. Character derives from your personal principles of morality and ethics and aims to showcase students with high standards, courtesy, concern, and respect. Scholarship is based on your GPA, allowing a group of similarly focused and driven individuals to come together. Leadership drives this group to be resourceful, problem-solving, and promoters of your NHS activities and others for both your school and community as a whole. Service allows the group to direct their attention to those who may need it and away from themselves. I remember my induction into National Honor Society my junior year of high school being, of course, a great distinction that I knew resonated with me, yet I had an entirely different perspective as to what these pillars were to me then than I do now. In high school, people knew me as a 3-sport athlete, the girl that took lots of really hard classes, and who was the vice president of her class. Many people either credited me for all I did and all I was able to accomplish, or they thought it was just a little too easy for me. The truth is that these 4 characteristics were given the proper environment to flourish with me. I had amazing positive role models and the people around me, making these pillars with the strongest foundation possible. I was lucky enough to have this seed planted for me. I just had to water it and make sure it didn't wilt away. This isn't the case for everyone, and I heavily credit those who take the initiative within themselves to create it. After graduating high school, I was left with hesitation, as I felt like the imaginary checklist of my life, you know, the one that you make when you grow up, didn't have many more boxes. Towards the end of high school, mine included things like achieving highest honors at every year of school, going to prom, touring colleges, applying to colleges, getting accepted to colleges, choosing which college to go to, then going to college. And of course, at the end of it all, I would simply repeat the entire process over again when I reached time to attend graduate school. Well, just to give all of you high schoolers a little insight, in fact, this checklist gets extremely more complicated as you actually live through these things. It is when your life checklist has quick additions, cross-outs, and just straight erasing the next day that you have to figure out both who you are and, more importantly, what makes you the person that you are. Over the past 4 years completing my undergraduate education, I was both forced to, in many classes, and allowed to, in my free time, look at aspects of what makes me, me. Sometimes this caused internal conflict because I had always thought of myself as a certain person, but many times I was comforted by being able to understand more about my personal choices, passions, and future goals. I realized that these raw and real moments of my personal journey have always overlapped with the National Honor Society pillars, and it wasn't until writing this speech that I understood that. Many of the past year's speakers most likely had more experiences to use to reflect in what they said here to past groups of inductees, and it may have allowed them to direct their attention and passion more to one pillar than the other. This is the great part that I can bring to you all here tonight. Because although I may be 4 or 5 years older than you NHS members, I'm really not all too different than you. I can confidently say that all 4 pillars still resonate with me in their importance of my life. Here are some additional understandings I now have about my own character, scholarship, leadership, and service. While my character still has its sturdy foundation in compassion, empathy, determination, and kindness, I now know that it also includes impatience, fueled by my determination, an open ear for anyone that needs to talk out a problem, driven by compassion and empathy, and curiosity, which has now become one of my favorite ways to describe my career path into the medical field. Scholarship is something I understand can be an area where some college students may not be as strict about it for themselves, but both my desire and need to continue to be the best student I could held strong. Luckily, one box of my life checklist has not changed and never will change from my junior year of high school until now, and it is my desire to become a physician assistant, which is one of the career paths you don't really have much wiggle room in academically. Don't get me wrong, it was hard and will continue to be hard. Yet, with many successes in my academic timeline, one that will forever be high on that list will be passing organic chemistry. Although I am 100% positive the experience would have been that much better if Mrs. Duty was my teacher. In high school, I took personal leadership as being captain of different sports teams, getting to school early to be part of student council, and being an example student. In college, I realized that leadership could look so much different and more than just that. In college, leadership looked like being the student to break the awkward silence in class, making sure to pay attention to the professor even if my other classmates were not, and being a prepared group mate or lab partner so that the entire system was able to work better together. If any of the pillars have meant more to me to understand than the rest, it would be service. Of course, service at its most simple form of volunteering will forever be a pure and ideal passion within me. Yet, as life gets busier and time runs scarce, you realize that you have to put necessity above desire. To me now, service is acquired in the choices I am making to benefit others. Personally, this looks like supporting Mascoma by attending sporting events, buying concessions, and participating in fundraisers. It also looks like donating items to organizations that may have a need for them, covering a shift for a coworker, doing the dishes for my mom, or going into a helping profession. Serving is in my character. My scholarship has driven my leadership. Being a leader is being a service to my peers. At the end of the day, these pillars hold so much more than their individual capacity. They are always intertwined at the core, and as you grow, they continue to intersect your life in different ways. This is the beauty of it all, and my tip is to embrace the journey getting there.
Thank you, Ms. Thompson. The National Honor Society greatly appreciates your willingness to share your experience and advice. We truly appreciate your involvement in tonight's ceremony and for being a proud member of the Mascoma NHS alumni. We wish you the best as you continue to work towards your goal of becoming a physician assistant and being a role model for our Build the Path You Want to Take motto. We will now proceed with the National Honor Society traditional candle lighting. I will begin by lighting the candle that symbolizes the National Honor Society torch, the internal light of knowledge. The membership of the Mascoma chapter of the National Honor Society has been earned by the effective demonstration of the 4 qualities held in high esteem by the Society. We will now review these qualities for the candidates. Each member has chosen a quote and an excerpt from the National Honor Society Handbook that exemplifies one of the 4 key qualities of all National Honor Society members. Reese Roberts will begin by lighting the candle for scholarship.
American poet and essayist Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, "Scholarship is to be created not by compulsion, but by awakening a pure interest in knowledge." Scholarship is a commitment and willingness to learn. A student chooses to spend hours in reading and studying, knowing the lasting benefits of a cultivated mind. Knowledge is one great element in life which leads to the highest success. Through diligence and effort, ultimate knowledge can be achieved. We should continue to learn even when formal education is ended, for education ends only with the end of life. Learning furnishes the lamp by which we read the past and the light which illuminates the future. Candidates have the drive to continually expand their world and achieve their greatest dreams through the opportunities inherent in scholarship. Carl Barton will now light the candle representing service.
Mahatma Gandhi, renowned political and spiritual leader, is quoted as saying, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others." My office is service. Service can be described in various ways. In the routine of the day's work, many opportunities arise to help others. Willingness to work for the benefit of those in need without monetary compensation or recognition is the quality we seek in our membership. We are committed to the idea of volunteering our time and abilities in the creation of a better tomorrow. Reese will now light a candle that symbolizes the leadership found in all members of the National Honor Society.
Our 6th U.S. President, John Quincy Adams, was quoted as saying, "If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader." Leadership should exert a wholesome influence in the school. In taking the initiative in class and school activities, the real leader strives to train and aid others to attain the same objective. The price of leadership is sacrifice, the willingness to yield one's personal interests for the interest of others. A leader has self-confidence and will go forward when others hesitate. No matter what power and resources exist in a country, they are ineffectual without the guidance of a wise leader. Leadership is always needed. Thus, to lead is a substantive charge to each of our members. Carl will now conclude by lighting the candle for character.
"16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln, was well known for his upstanding character. Lincoln said, 'Character is like a tree, and reputation like a shadow. The shadow is what we think of it. The tree is the real thing.' Character is the force within each individual which distinguishes that person from others. It gives each of us our individuality. Without character, no person can have self-respect, nor hope to attain the respect of others. It is this force of character that guides us through life, responding with heroism, understanding, sympathy, or tolerance to the demands upon us. Character is achieved and not received. It is the product of constant action, daily striving to make the right choice. The problem of character is the problem of self-control. We must really be what we wish others to perceive us as. By demonstrating such qualities as respect, responsibility, trustworthiness, fairness, caring, and citizenship. We wish to prove, by example, on a daily basis, that we value character. Kaylee will now return to the podium.
Faculty members from the Mascoma High School will now introduce our new members. Also, one of our current members of the Honor Society has volunteered to serve as a big sister or brother to each of our new members. The current members will stand next to our new inductees to symbolize their support and encouragement. I would like to invite Mr. Sweetland to present the first new member of NHS.
This is fun because they have no idea who goes. Would you join me? We have very specific instructions. On the right. On the right. There we go. There we go. Okay. So. I got to know Lydia before she even came to the high school. Now, usually when you know someone from IRS before they get here, it's not a good thing. That was not the case. Not the case. Lydia comes from a family of pirates. Because I first got to know her with Peter Pan. But you, as I recall, were like a crocodile sometimes.
Yes, once.
Little disappointing, little disappointing. But I've known many, many Lydias as we've gone through. She was the icon on the Zoom every afternoon. And when she came on, the class exploded. I'm talking about something incredibly important. Lydia! They would scream. And so I got to know her first for that. Through Interact Club, where she was, tireless in her efforts. Now the president of Interact Club, which is, it's been a great club, and your efforts are a huge part of that. I got to know her as Shelley, a girl who drinks beer outdoors in Almost Maine. Also a disappointment to your family, but that's kind of how it goes. I also got to know her as Mrs. Peacock. Shameless plug, clue, 2 weeks, right here, Mrs. Peacock. And so, in drama as well. And I don't think there is anyone who is better qualified to be a member of National Honor Society. I give you Lydia Joseph. Let's drop my thing. Sorry. Right there. Perfect. Good. So, I got to know Rhiannon. Actually, Rhiannon has successfully avoided me in 4 years of high school, not once taking me as a teacher. That's a hard thing to do. So congratulations on that. And I first got to know her when she was the stage manager for Behind the Mask, one of our COVID productions. And very helpful and an important job. And Also a member of Interact Club and helping out with that. But I decided I would do a little different. I'd do a little man on the street, except this is students in a hallway, not man on the street. What do you think of when you think of Rhiannon? Artistic. Oh, that's easy. I can see that. Absolutely. Helpful. Yeah. Diligent. All these are good, by the way. So, funny. Kind of an independent thinker. And so, I was like, well, these are all kind of true things, but when I think of Rhiannon, what do I think? I think a little rock and roll is what I think about with Rhiannon. Now, I love NHS. I love you guys. You could use a little rock and roll, I gotta say. So, I introduce you, Rhiannon.
Ms. Tessier will introduce the third new member of NHS.
Mr. Sweetland is a hard act to follow, but I'll do my best. So, polite, motivated, and dedicated are just a few of the words that come to mind when it comes to Logan. Although I have only known Logan a short time, I have seen him become a model student for all 4 pillars of the National Honor Society. Having high expectations, he's always challenging himself with rigorous courses, including AP, which he's with me this year, and honors, and going beyond what is expected. He continually demonstrates his willingness to help others in and outside the classroom. I have witnessed him more times than not helping fellow classmates and teachers without hesitation. Logan is not afraid to ask questions and ask for help when needed, which I feel speaks to his dedication and determination. Outside the classroom, Logan is involved in several activities. I personally observed that outside the classroom, he is a positive contributor to student council and the whole school community. I'm excited for Logan's future and believe that he will carry with him the 4 pillars of NHS. He has much to offer to the world around him. I'm extremely proud and honored to be able to introduce Logan Ascano-Smith to you as a new inductee of the Mascoma chapter of National Honor Society. Congratulations. It is my pleasure to introduce another new member of National Honor Society, Elena Trippi. I have not known Elena long, but her character and academic drive is unwavering. She challenges herself with rigorous courses while being involved with various activities in and outside of school. Elena's initiative is evident during class, when doing lab investigations, and during discussions. After reading comments left by other faculty members, I know these qualities have been observed in other classes. One quote states, "Elena is hardworking and committed student. She has shown great dedication to her area of passion. I have no doubt that she would bring that level of hard work to NHS. I cannot agree more." Beyond the classroom, Elena is involved in cross-country here at the high school, music, and horseback riding. Having conversations with Elena, her passion and dedication for these activities is apparent. I'm extremely proud of all of Elena's accomplishments. I believe that Elena will embrace the 4 pillars of National Honor Society after
high school, and for this reason, I know that she will be successful in the future. Welcome to the Mascoma chapter of National Honor Society. Congratulations.
At this time, Ms. Hurd will present our 5th new member.
It is my honor to introduce Sophia Taylor. In her essay, which was part of her application to be accepted into the NHS, Sophia wrote, quote, "High school is not only about getting A's for me, but is also being part of my community, building leadership skills, and developing character." From having Sophia in class, English class as a sophomore this year, I know that's true, and it makes her an excellent student, person, and now a member of the National Honor Society. She's the current class president. She's taken part in sports. She works the Thanksgiving dinners at the Sacred Heart Church. She pushes herself as a scholar, especially in English when it comes to writing. All of these things represent the pillars of the NHS. And in fact, in addition, when it comes to character, Sophia tends to have very strong opinions, but she is very judicious, at least in English class, about how she voices those opinions. One of the things she did last year was to write a speech about something she felt very strongly about. But as part of that speech, and she worked with me on it and went back over and over and over again to do second drafts, was to think about her audience, including those who didn't agree with her, which is very important when giving a speech. She also worked on her writing so much over and over again. There was hardly a time when she didn't rewrite and redraft and recraft her work, which shows that she's dedicated. Not only is she dedicated to ideals, she's someone who follows through and follows through every time. So I give you Sophia Taylor. I am also very pleased to introduce Kylie Rogers. Kylie is filled with so much character. Additionally, she plays sports, basketball, field hockey. She's currently serving as captain for field hockey. When it comes to service, she spent summers volunteering to help younger field hockey players at a summer clinic. In English class last year, she talked about and wrote about her mom. And she also wrote about her mom in her NHS essay. Specifically, she shared with us that her mother raised her to always be kind. And she is. She is always kind. And what an important aspect of character, especially in these times. But she's not just kind. She also challenges herself. She challenges herself scholastically by taking difficult classes. She's also a fighter, a scrapper, in the best possible way. I saw it when I watched her play basketball on YouTube videos. But I also read something that really impressed me in her essay to be accepted into the National Honor Society. She wrote, quote, that at the USATF National Junior Olympics, I was competing as an individual and as a team participant. I encountered an unfortunate bad sportsmanship act early on in the race. This prevented me from performing my fastest run. I was challenged by having to run a 3K with only one shoe in extreme cold and muddy conditions. As much as I wanted to quit, I knew I would be letting my team down if I did, and they were relying on me. That exemplifies Kylie's character and shows that she will be a dedicated and tireless member of the National Honor Society and the Mascoma community. Kylie Rogers.
Please welcome Senorita Coolidge as she invites another new member to the stage.
Tonight, I have the pleasure of introducing Kaylee Catalina Staplefeld as a new member of the Mascoma chapter of the National Honor Society. Kaylee is extremely active in her school community, participating in basketball and soccer during the school year and during the summer, student council, her class council, prom committee, Interact Club, and SALT, the student athlete leadership team. Kaylee has also spent time volunteering in a local daycare, helping to watch children, organize meals, and more. In the classroom, Kaylee consistently gives her best effort with the assignments she completes. She challenges herself with honors and AP courses, as well as captaining her athletic teams, all qualities of a hard worker and a strong leader. Kaylee was one of my first students when I started here 2 years ago, and she made me feel extremely welcome in a brand new place. I'm so proud to welcome her into NHS tonight. Tonight, I also have the honor of introducing Emily Lupe Seiler into the Mascoma chapter of the National Honor Society. I wouldn't be the Spanish teacher if I didn't know their Spanish names in there. Come on. Emily is active in her high school community as a member of SALT and Interact Club, as well as playing basketball and soccer during the school year and during the summer. In the classroom, Emily is a leader and a model student, always willing to help out a fellow classmate who is confused or has fallen behind. She challenges herself with AP and honors courses, as well as captaining her teammates. In her community, Emily spends time volunteering at the Enfield Recreation Summer Camp, and more recently helped to organize a breast cancer awareness fundraiser benefiting the Norris Cotton Cancer Center at Dartmouth Medical Center. Emily spent a lot of time in my classroom in the last couple of years. Last year, she was often in my room twice a day for her class and during her study hall, spending some extra time in the Spanish room. So I am truly, truly excited to welcome a student such as Emily into NHS tonight.
Ms. Fitzgerald, please escort our next new member to the stage.
Good evening. It is my pleasure to be here tonight and to be able to introduce you to another new member of the National Honor Society, Haley Miller. I had the pleasure of having Haley in biology all last year. And in that time, I watched her endure all the changes that we went through. I mean, it's fair to say you've not had the most normal high school experience. That goes for a lot of you guys. We went from masks and having to be off if we were exposed to not having to wear masks, and we faced constant changes. And through all of that, I watched Haley persevere and excel in her studies and make a positive impact on her sports team and her school community. This year, I have seen her taking a more active role in our school community as we strive to get back to that more normal high school experience. As our extracurriculars are coming back and there are more things to participate in. I've even heard about how she recognized a missing link in a friend's school life and encouraged her to take a leap and try something new with her, and it has been really wonderful. I've been able to see her grow as a person and contribute to the positive atmosphere we're building here at Mascoma. Haley is going to be a wonderful addition to the Mascoma National Honor Society. She's a born leader, compassionate, and dedicated to her goals and our school community. Congratulations and welcome.
Please welcome Ms. Studi as she introduces our remaining new members and completes the final portion of our induction, leading all of our new members in the traditional National Honor Society pledge.
It's my pleasure to introduce Zoe Barrett as a new member of the National Honor Society. I've had the pleasure of teaching Zoe in my honors chemistry class. Last year, she was with me. Unfortunately, I don't get to teach her this year, but now that she's a member of National Honor Society, I have a good excuse to spend time with her. I want to share with you some of the reasons I know that Zoe will be an excellent addition to our organization. In chemistry, Zoe really impressed me with her curiosity and ability to ask great questions. She was always seeking to understand chemistry rather than just memorizing some facts. In her essay, she admits that honors chemistry was one of the more challenging classes she's taken in high school, but she met the challenge head on. In addition, Zoe was a great role model for her classmates by advocating for herself in a respectful manner and taking responsibility for her learning. She also demonstrates her leadership through many activities at school. Zoe is especially proud of her leadership and service as a member of the Interact Club and Student Council, and I know she will do the same as a member of the National Honor Society. Lastly, I want to speak to Zoe's strong character. Zoe is a person who has the strength of character to be herself, rather than try to fit the mold that represents the latest trend. Zoe has decided to graduate high school a year early, and I think her determination to do so represents her strong spirit and ability to persevere. Congratulations on becoming a member of the NHS, Zoe. It's well deserved. Last but certainly not least, I'm so happy to introduce Kara Miller as a new member of the National Honor Society. Kara was also a member of my honors chemistry last year, and this year I'm lucky to have her in honors physics class. In her own words, Kara is a strong-willed and passionate person when it comes to learning. She is determined to succeed at whatever she does. Kara's first response to learning, though, especially if it's something new or difficult, is often self-doubt. But then she digs in and she finishes strong. I think she sometimes surprises herself when it comes to her successes, but I think it's a natural consequence of her hard work and commitment. Kara is also committed to being a good leader and to serving others through her work with Interact Club and in simple daily acts like helping to clean up a classroom. I was impressed with her insightful comment in her essay that you don't have to be seen to help out and make a difference. Kara also demonstrates insightfulness when it comes to character. She believes in following the rules, but she also knows there's a right way to approach things when the rules don't make sense to you. Kara has a great voice for herself and others, and I know she'll continue to use it as a member of the National Honor Society. Congratulations, Kara. So I have the honor of working with these students in a way that's different than being in the classroom, and I have to tell you that it's one of the things about my life as an educator that I really, really enjoy. I feel very lucky to work with these students. Before I have them do their pledge, I also want to just give a really big shout out to the faculty members that are standing behind me. 3 of them were at a conference all day today in Portsmouth and had to drive back and, didn't bat an eyelash about having to be here late tonight. So I can't tell you how much that means to me, that I have that support. I also want to give a big shout out to the people who are sitting to my right here because they worked so hard to put on this ceremony. They came in early. They really took this so seriously and wanted to be special for their classmates, and I appreciate all of their hard work. All right, so for the final act for me tonight, I'm going to ask the new inductees to please rise and to repeat after me. I pledge myself to uphold the high purposes of the National Honor Society, to which I have been selected. I will be true to the principles for which it stands. I will be loyal to my school. I will maintain and encourage high standards of scholarship, service, leadership, and character. You may present them with their pins and cards. Thank you.
This is one of the times I'm gonna just let someone run up the hallway.
Dead space, I always have it. So don't worry, I will not sing, trust me. So, but I would just, since I have this open time here, they're wonderful, so. They're wonderful too. And Sydney Thompson, there we go. So just a little quick plug. Clue, the 28th and 29th. Yeah, I heard that. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. People will die. Trust me. So, all right. That's it. Now you can go back to talking.
So I used to joke with my students that there's only one reason to run, and that's if you're being chased. I have now decided it's also if it's embarrassment.
This concludes our National Honor Society induction program. Thank you so much for coming tonight to celebrate the achievement of our new members. We will be taking a few pictures for yearbook, and parents are welcome to join us. Congratulations to you all.